This is the student workbook, and when you teach the Victus Study Skills course, you'll want one student workbook for each student. So this could be either used in a classroom where you would have 10 students, or it could be used one-on-one. So whichever way you want to do it, you are welcome to do it, but you do want to have one student edition for each student that you have. And I'm going to go through the contents of this a little bit in depth so you understand more of what the students are being taught. When you turn to the table of contents in the student edition, they mainly just have the course aim, which is a little bit of the philosophy, because we do want them to understand that Victus is a system of study. It's unlike any other study skills course where you've just got a myriad, like a laundry list of study skills to learn. This is a system of study, and a system is something where there are component parts that work together for an aim. Like a car has component parts, the tire, the battery, all those different parts working together to accomplish the aim of the system, which is to travel somewhere. So our study skill system is much the same way. It's got these different component parts that work together to accomplish the aim. Now let me tell you a little bit about the three foundational cornerstones, which are the main component parts of our system that we teach. First of all is, where are you now? That's the concept. We believe it's very important for people to be honest about where they are now. MIT has done research about something called the underground managerial world, and what happens in the underground managerial world is that managers will kind of fix the figures so that when they make their presentation to the upper level executives, it will look a lot better than it really is. Now, why do they do that? Pretty clearly obvious that the reasons they do it is to protect their job or to make themselves look better. But in the long run, what happens by doing that is the company is not going to be doing well because we're not being honest about where we are now. So it's a principle that we want students to understand, that it's real important to understand where you are now, to be honest about it. So then how do we apply that concept in study skills? Well, they have a study habits checklist where it's amazing how honest they will be about their current study habits. Do you have a place to study? What's your place of study like? Those kinds of things where they actually are assessing where they are now. The other concrete example of the concept where we are now that they do is they do a learning styles inventory. Now we're just introducing them to that concept so that they begin to understand that there is a way we each learn better. We're all gifted in certain ways, but it's important that we find out which way we learn best. So that's the first foundational cornerstone. Where are we now? The second foundational cornerstone is, where do I want to be? There's been a lot of research, and we know it's true, that students who have a vision for their future are going to be much more passionate about their lives when they are thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. So in our course, they actually talk about and hear about other people who have visions for their lives, and then they begin to write a mission for their own life. They actually write a mission statement, and they learn how to identify goals and priorities, what is important, what's not important, so that they know how to take a definite stand for what is important in their lives. So that's the where do you want to be. Then they move into, how do I get there? And this is where we close that gap between where we are now and where we want to be. So they know their learning style, they know what their study habits are, they know what they're thinking they may want to be doing 10, 15, or 20 years from now. Now, how are we going to get there? How are we going to move from where we are now to where we want to be? So they learn about time management. They learn that there's a connection between how I spend my time today and what I'm going to be ending up doing 10 years from now. They learn about organizing themselves, organizing their materials. They learn about having a place to study and how important it is, that environment. They learn about test taking, they learn about note taking, they learn about reading for information. They learn all these different skills that will really help them, not only in school, but it will help them in life, because all of these skills like listening and things like that are important, not just today while they're in school, but they will be important for them the rest of their lives.